Grabando.
Grabando.
Hello, hi everybody. We are all preparing for Pesach. This year, as everybody knows, Erev Pesach will fall on Shabbat. When Erev Pesach falls on Shabbat, there are special challenges that we don't have every year. Since there are special challenges, people call and ask. There are many YouTube videos by rabbis, Sephardi rabbis, and they seem to repeat each other. And this year they came out with the following: that there is a way how to get rid of all the chametz before on Friday. As you know, you do bdikat chametz Thursday night, as always, with a bracha, a bir chametz. And Friday morning we do the same thing, burning the chametz. Well, we have to follow the law the way the law is written. The law, the halacha, is very clear in Gemara, in Rambam, and Shulchan Aruch. Since we're talking especially to Sephardim, but the halacha will be the same for Ashkenazim. The reason that we're talking specifically to Sephardim is because the Sephardim always say that we go along with the Rabbi Yosef Karo, the Mechaber Shulchan Aruch. So we have to read in the Shulchan Aruch the way it's written, and to follow literally the law the way it's meant to be. And of course, the law in the Shulchan Aruch is following the Rambam, and the Rambam follows the Gemara. The way it's written is as follows: Mashirim, Lechem, we have to always get rid of, dispose of all the chametz, and we leave Chale. People should leave Chale according to the family, whatever they need for Friday night, regular Chale, small Chales, and for Shabbos morning. We daven early, and we eat the Shabbos meal as follows. Before I tell you how to do it, it's written in the Shulchan Aruch and written in the Rambam that we have to eat chametz Friday night and Shabbos morning for the second meal of Shabbos. Because we need to make a moitzi. Because the Giyom of Shalosh Sudas, the two Sudas is chiyuv to have a moitzi. And therefore, there's no other way to do a moitzi. The matzah is also to eat. Chazal made a special isur, a oichel matzah be'erev Pesach ki'ilu bo al harisosot bebeit chomo. Chazal not only prohibited the eating of matzah erev Pesach, but furthermore they compared it to a isur extreme, very extreme isur, which the Rambam tells us, V'chol ha'oichel matzah be'erev Pesach, whoever eats matzah erev Pesach, the day preceding Pesach, we hit him until he actually passes away. That's how severe that prohibition is. Why? So the rabbis that give the reason, the rabbis, I'm talking the nowadays rabbis, they say the reason is so we eat the matzah in the night of the Seder with an appetite. To have appetite, therefore you're not allowed to eat matzah this year in Shabbos. But that's not true. The Rambam doesn't write that as a reason. Why? That wouldn't be such a severe prohibition that a person should be killed for not having appetite. He's still going to do the mitzvah. He's still going to eat matzah. It's a hidur mitzvah to eat matzah with an appetite. Okay? So if a person doesn't comply with the hidur mitzvah, that doesn't mean that he deserves to get hit until he dies. Here we're talking about prohibition, a severe prohibition. It's almost a capital punishment. If he doesn't stop eating, you keep hitting him. So we have to carry this very serious, carry this halacha, which is the reason the Rambam gives is that should be heker, should be obvious that you're not eating matzah before the mitzvah. The mitzvah is the Leila Seder. It says in the Haggadah, Yachom B'Yoyim, Tamid Loimar, When the mitzvah is only in the night of Hamishosar. And if you're going to eat the matzah this year Friday night, because it's easier for you, or because you've already cleaned the house for Shabbat, for Pesach, that doesn't allow you to eat matzah. Imagine you have this table set for a Shabbos meal, and all the food is kosher for Pesach, and you're going to have matzah and make a moitzi on it. So that's number one, totally forbidden. And I see that the rabbis say, many YouTube rabbis say that you're allowed to eat it, and Friday night is no problem. The only problem is Shabbat morning. But that's not true. And that's the opinion of the Ben Ish Chai and many other great Sephardi rabbis. That the prohibition of not eating matzah Erev Pesach, in Torah, Erev Pesach starts from Friday night. Because the night is the late Shabbos is Shabbat, is Erev Pesach. That's number one. And especially when we're dealing with such a severe prohibition, the way the Rambam puts it, we can't go into any suffering. Number two, Sfardim all year when they eat matzah, they make a mazonos. You make a mezonot, not a motzi, because it's a cracker style, and when you chew it as a cracker, the Shulchan Aruch holds the Bis Yosef that it's a mezonot. So even if you eat the matzah this year Friday night, it's not a motzi, and it's a mezonot, and you can be mikayim sholosh seudos. The first suud and the second suud of Shabbos, you must make a moitzi on lechem. So they come up with a chidush, with a new thing. They invented that since there are so many people who want to eat matzah, and therefore the matzah is already a moitzi. That's not true. The halachas of Nehenim, Berachos Nehenim don't change if people want to do it. It's only a bracha, a moitzi, by the night of the Seder, then it becomes a moitzi. Because then there's nothing else to eat. That's the only lechem that you have. But whatever you eat before is a mazonos. I heard shiur from Mordechai Eliyahu Zatzal. He held the same thing. Ben Zion Abba Shaul, Orda Zion, holds also that for Sfardim, the matzah, Erev Pesach, Chalil B'Shabbos is a mazonos. So therefore, they came up with a new solution. So first of all, Friday night you're not allowed to eat any shape or form. You're not allowed to eat matzah, because it's specifically written in the Ben Ish Chai that prohibition to eat matzah Erev Pesach starts Friday night. Furthermore, Shabbos day you're not allowed to eat matzah that is a little bit fried, which they say if you fry it on Friday, then you're allowed to eat it Shabbat day, because it has a different flavor. So already it's written in Pri Megodim and the Mishnah Berurah that if you just fry a little bit oil, matzah doesn't change the law. Still not allowed to eat it Erev Pesach. And the logic is simple, because it still has a flavor in matzah, it just became a little more crispy. The only way it will become a real fried matzah if you do a deep fry, and I don't suggest anybody to do a deep fry, because then it will take away your appetite the entire day. It becomes very oily. But besides, if the matzah itself is mezonot, the fact that you fry it, don't turn it into a moitzi. So therefore, you can't make a moitzi on it. If you can't make a moitzi on it, then there's no way you can do the mitzvah of Sudas Shabbos. So we're going back to the original halacha, the way it's written in Shulchan Aruch. You eat challah Friday night, and then you can eat it on a side table. You make kiddush, you eat challah, a kibbetza, and then you leave that table, you go to the main table, and you have your meal, Shabbos meal. You can have kosher or Pesach Shabbos meal, not a problem. As long as you see the makam, the place where you make kiddush, and then you can do the Berachos Hamazon where you ate. And the Shabbos day, the same thing. You have a tablecloth that, if you want, you can throw it away with all the perurim, all the crumbs. Throw it away right away in the incinerator. That has no fire. Or you throw it out in the garbage. And you go back to the table and you eat your meal. And if the whole Shabbos meal is kosher or Pesach, you can go on with the meal till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. You don't have to stop. Just remember, you have to say Kol Chamir V'Chamil, Shabbos before 11 o'clock, 10:30. And that's the halacha. Now we get to Suda Shlishis. Shalshudas, the Shulchan Aruch holds that you eat matzah shira after 12:30, after a half hour after Chatzos, time of Mincha. You can't have Suda Shlishis before Chatzos. And the Shulchan Aruch says, you eat matzah shira, that's for Suda Shlishis. Of course, mezonot, because for Suda Shlishis you can be yotze with mezonot. The Ramah agrees with the Mechaber that you eat chometz, chale, Friday night and Shabbos day. The only difference with him that he says in our Medina, in our countries, we don't bake matzah shira, therefore not an option. So the Ramah says you do shalshudas, you do it with fish, or you can eat fruits, and that's how you do it. But in fact, the halacha, the way to do it is in our country that we all have egg matzahs readily available, kosher with a good hechsher. So the Ramah doesn't say it's not allowed to eat matzah shira. It just says that it's not available. The Noida Yehuda said that Erev Pesach you're allowed to eat matzah shira, egg matzah for everybody. So that's the right way to do it. To make a mazonos in the afternoon, after 12:30 all the way till 4, you're allowed to eat matzah shira. The source of that minhag to eat matzah shira Suda Shlishis is Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam or Yochel Suda Shlishis brings down the Tur, brings it in Toisus. The beginning of Arab Pesachim brings the Rabbeinu Tam. Therefore, there's no problem to eat matzah shira this Shabbos in Suda Shlishis, Shalshudas, as long as it's before Shah series. After Shah series, which is more or less 4 o'clock, you're not allowed to eat any more matzah shira. If a person didn't eat Shalshudas till 4 o'clock, and then he wants to eat, you gotta eat fish or vegetables. Baruch Adonai La'olam, Omen ve'Omen. Chag kosher v'sameach.